A couple of weeks ago, I got a message from one of my clients. Her name is Keisha. She said, Fuanyi, my roof needed to be repaired and it was going to cost $25,000. I didn't have that kind of money saved and I didn't know what to do. And I felt that in my chest because I knew exactly what had already happened next. Keisha ended up pulling that $25,000 out of her retirement account just to get that situation handled. And on the surface, it felt like the responsible thing to do. The money was there, the problem got fixed, and life moved on. But what most people don't realize is that that $25,000 withdrawal didn't just cost her $25,000. Once you factor in taxes and penalties, she lost a chunk of that right off the top. I know that because I filed her taxes, and even worse than that, she interrupted her future. That $25,000 left invested over time could have grown to so much more money. Now that growth is completely gone, and unless she has a plan to replace it, she has set her retirement back for years. And Keisha is not alone here. So many people are one emergency away from having to choose between their present and their future. And most of them think they're prepared, but what they actually have is access to money they were never supposed to touch. What's up, everybody? I'm Fuanyi. I'm a former budget analyst who served on active duty with the Coast Guard and worked for the US government. And now I teach personal finance to everyday families, people just like you, so you can take control of your money, break the paycheck to paycheck cycle, and build real financial stability. And if you've ever had an unexpected expense completely blow up your budget, then drop emergency in the comments right now so I know you're with me. Let's get into it. Here's the truth about life without an emergency fund. Your car breaks down. That is a $900 repair. If you don't have $900 in cash, you're going to put it on the credit card at 20 to 24% interest. That $900 problem becomes a $1,100 problem, and then a $1,400 problem. Or worse, you lose your job and you have no savings, and yet bills are still due in 2 weeks. So you panic and take the first job you can find, even if it pays less, even if you hate it, all because you have no choice. That is the reality for most American families right now. And if that's you, I need you to hear this. It's not your fault. Nobody taught us this in school. Nobody sat us down and explained that an emergency fund is the foundation for everything else. But here's what I know from years of working and never having money. An emergency fund is not just about having cash for a rainy day. It is about giving yourself real options. And it's a difference between surviving and actually building something. Now, before we go any further, I am not a financial advisor. I'm sharing what I've learned through my training, my experience, and my work with real families. Always do your own research and consult a licensed professional for your specific situation. All right, so how much do you actually need in your emergency fund? I like to break this into 2 phases. Phase 1 is a starter emergency fund of $1,000. This $1,000 is going to be sitting in a savings account that you don't touch unless it is a real emergency. Research shows that $1,000 covers about 80% of the small to medium emergencies that derail most families. Emergencies like a car repair, a medical copay, and broken appliances. $1,000 won't cover everything, but it covers enough to keep you out of debt for most unexpected expenses. And here's the key. You build this $1,000 emergency fund as fast as humanly possible, before you aggressively pay off debt, before you invest, and before you save for anything else. This is priority number 1. Phase 2 is having a fully funded emergency fund, which should cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses. So if your household brings in $5,000 a month, but your actual expenses are $3,500, then your emergency fund needs to be between $10,500 and $21,000. Now, how do you decide between 3 to 6 months? Here's a framework I use with the families that I've worked with. Use 3 months if you have a stable job, strong job security, and solid options in your field. Use 6 months if you're married, have kids, are self-employed, or work in a volatile industry. And I'll tell you this, if you work for a publicly traded company like Amazon or Walmart, I consider that a volatile industry. One bad quarter and layoffs start happening immediately. They can change staffing on a whim, so just plan accordingly. The goal is simple. If your income stops tomorrow, you need enough to cover your essentials like rent, utilities, groceries, insurance, and minimum debt payments. This fully funded emergency fund will not cover things like subscriptions or vacations, just the basics to keep your family's lives running. Now, let's talk about where to actually keep this money. Your emergency fund needs to be in a high-yield savings account, not your checking account, not a traditional savings account at a big bank, not under your mattress, and definitely not in the stock market either. And here is why. 3 words: safe, liquid, and separate. Safe means it is FDIC insured. If that bank has any trouble, the government has your money protected. Liquid means you can access it within 24 to 48 hours with no penalties. Separate means it is not sitting in your checking account where you're going to spend it. Human nature has proven time and time again that if it is in your checking account, it is going to get spent. Right now, high-yield savings accounts are paying 3 to 4% APY. Compare that to the 0.01% you're getting at most big national banks. On a $10,000 emergency fund, that is $300 to $400 a year in interest. Let me address the 4 biggest objections I hear from families. Objection number 1, I can't afford to save. Here's the truth. If you can't afford to save $50 a month, then you cannot afford a $1,000 emergency. And that emergency is going to come because they always do. What I want you to do is track your spending for 30 days because I promise you, you're going to find money you didn't even know you were spending. Find $20 a week to start, and that is going to get you to $1,000 in less than 1 year. And once you have it, you're never going to go back to living without it. The second objection is I'll just use my credit card. A credit card is not an emergency fund. A credit card is debt with interest. When you use it for an emergency, you're not solving the problem. You're delaying it and making it more expensive. An emergency fund is money you own. A credit card is money you borrow, and the borrower is always slave to the lender. Objection number 3 is I need to invest so I don't miss out on gains. You cannot build wealth without having a solid foundation. If you start investing before you have an emergency fund, the first time life happens, you're going to be pulling money out of your investments and possibly at a loss because markets go up and down, or you're going to go into debt to cover the emergency. Now you're paying 24% interest while trying to earn 10% in the stock market. The math simply isn't mathing. Alright, now that we've covered how much you need and the objections, let's build this emergency fund, okay? Here are your 4 steps. Step number 1 is get to $1,000 as fast as possible. The best way to achieve this goal is to cut expenses temporarily. Sell things you don't need. Pick up a side gig for a couple of months. Use your tax refunds and use your next bonus. Just do whatever it takes to get you to $1,000. Step 2 is to tackle high interest debt. Once you hit $1,000, if you have credit card debt above 10% interest, then pause your emergency fund and attack that debt. Once it's gone, then come back and complete step number 3, which is start building your fully funded emergency fund. Calculate 3 to 6 months of your actual living expenses and then set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your high yield savings account on payday. Automating even $100 a month is very powerful, and it's going to lead to consistent wins that are going to help you reach your goals faster. And lastly, remember to not deplete your emergency fund and then just forget about it. The moment you use any of the money for an actual emergency, rebuild it so it stays fully funded at all times. Real quick, let's talk about what actually counts as an emergency. An emergency is unexpected, necessary, and urgent. A medical bill is an emergency. A BBL is not an emergency. A job loss is an emergency. Quitting because you need a break is not an emergency. Here is the bottom line. Your emergency fund is not an option. It is the foundation of your entire financial life. Without it, you're always one car repair away from credit card debt, one job loss away from having a full-blown disaster, and one unexpected bill away from going completely backwards. And once you have this emergency fund in place, everything else gets easier. Paying off debt gets easier because you're not adding to it every time something breaks. Investing gets easier because you're not pulling money out for emergencies. And budgeting gets easier because you're no longer in constant crisis mode. Your emergency fund is the difference between reacting to life and actually being prepared for life. So if you don't have that $1,000 right now, that is your goal. Start today. Find $20 this week and then $20 next week. Keep going until you hit your goal. And the faster you move, the faster you're going to get there, my friend. If you already have your $1,000, then congratulations. Now, calculate your 3 to 6 months of expenses and let that be your next target. Automate that. Build it 1 month at a time and don't let your final number intimidate you. This can take time and that's completely okay. You can do this. I truly believe in you. So just put your head down and get there because it's going to change your family's life. If this video helped you understand why your emergency fund matters and exactly how to build it, then do me a favor and share this video with someone you know who is living paycheck to paycheck, because we all know someone who needs to hear this. Hit that subscribe button because every week I'm here helping everyday families take control of their money and build real financial stability. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Drop a money emoji in the comments. I see every single comment and I read them. I'm Fuanyi and I want you to always remember that the best time to invest in yourself was yesterday. The second best time is now. You got this.